Hello students, this is your first class introduction to communication, business communication actually, and I welcome you in the first lecture of your class. I will be used for this introductory lecture. I will be using slides prepared and uploaded at SlideShares by Khaja Hasibur Rahman. So let's begin with the concept of communication and the scope of the lecture. So basically, what is communication? Beforehand of the before we get into the lecture, at least we need to understand what is communication. So communication is the process of communicating or transmitting an idea between two or more parties, or sometimes with your own self. So this is communication, uh, where there is someone who is at the sending end and the other one is at the receiving end, and what is being sent and what is being received is the idea or the message that is being conveyed. For in order to convey this idea, we will be using different channels or mediums, and in this whole process there are external and internal factors that influence your communication process and the transmission of your message. So let's discuss the contents of this lecture. Business communication, I will be explaining what is the meaning of this business communication and how it is different from your general communication or social communication or non business communication. Characteristics of communication. So what are the characteristics of communication and objectives of business communication? What are our purposes? For what different purposes we communicate in the business environment? Channels of communication, different channels of communication, that how do we transmit our ideas. Types of communication: intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, that can be formal, informal, and then group communication. So business communication. So communication is the this is not business communication, this is only communication. There will be some minor mistakes or errors or problems in the slides, so we will be rectifying those also. Communication is the art of transmitting information, ideas, attitudes from one person to another. So what is communication? It is transmission. Transmitting what? Between the sender and receiver, I just told you. So what is being transmitted between the sender and the receiver? It can be information. Like I am delivering you the information right now in the form of a lecture. I am the sender and you guys are the receivers. So information can be of different types. Okay. Ideas, sometimes you want to discuss with someone. For example, if I am delivering this lecture and one of your class fellows just raises his hand, or like if we are in a face-to-face class or we are having a class on Zoom, he raises his hand and tries to give us some idea that how should we conduct the class, or if he is having some problem, or if he or she can bring some betterment in the delivery of the lecture. Most of the time you see students giving different suggestions. So that will be communication of an idea. If you are sitting in a meeting, different people present different ideas to the group. So this is when you are communicating, you might be sharing information or ideas and attitudes. Sometimes in your communication, what you are communicating or transmitting is an attitude, like you are frowning, and uh, like frowning when you are like raising your eyebrows and looking at someone with an angry face, like a mother does when she has got to her son to understand what she has already taught her, and he is doing some mannerless act. So and some other examples can be like if someone has done something bad and you are not like uh, good with him, you are not in good terms with him, and you want to communicate that you did dislike the idea of him or her, not according in a mannerly behavior in the previous session, so called previous session you had. So what you are doing is, when he or she calls you or says salam or says hello, but you just don't reply, you just walk away. So this is also communication of an idea, an attitude, and communication is being made. I only gave examples of some gestures. In both of my examples, I use frowning and just passing away, not using any words, but using some gestures or communicating some attitudes. This type of communication is called non-verbal communication. Whenever we are using words, we are using verbal communication, and it is also called expressed communication. Like, you are expressing something in the form of words, and words can be expressed written or oral. If you are writing some message, like message, email, and some document is being shared, a report is being shared, a CV is being presented to some organization, a tender notice is being given in the newspaper, a quotation is being submitted to the company in against the tender notice. So all of these communications are being made in written form, in black and white. And like, I am making an express communication, I am expressing my ideas in this lecture with you guys in the form of words. So this is also verbal communication, but this is oral communication. And then if someone does not use any words for the communication of the idea is got, it is called non-verbal communication. This is it includes your gesture, your posture, your eye contact, uh, the face of your color also, your style of sitting in a meeting. For example, a student is yawning in the class, someone is like sitting in the technically laying in the chair. Sometimes he is stretching his whole body over the chair, or sometimes falling on his colleague. So you are communicating that what type of interest you have got in the class, or what type of activities you have been doing lately, and what type of energy you are carrying in your class. So there are other examples also. If a candidate is like shaking his legs, looking away, sometimes in the right corner, sometimes in the left corner of the room, like he is showing lack of confidence. So communication is still being made, and someone is making a good eye contact. Communication is also being made in this example, and an expression of the confidence is being communicated to the other party. So what I just wanted to explain was that there are two types of communication. One of them can be verbal, and the other one can be non-verbal communication. And in the verbal communication, the expressed communication, what you are doing is you are using written or oral messages. And in your non-verbal communication, gestures, postures, body language, the environment, the stimuli, there are different things we will be discussing in the complete and separate session on non-verbal communication. And this non-verbal communication, in contrary to the verbal and expressed communication, is called implied communication. So you are not expressing anything, but things are implied, like understood. We say कि उसको पता चल जाता है, implies, इसका मतलब ये है. Okay, so For example, as I just said, uh, for example, if you call someone and arrange a meeting, and you guys have been on some bad terms lately, and you just try to settle the terms, and you invite him or her to settle the terms in a meeting, but after your consistent reminders and requests or whatever, he or she does not show up at the time of the meeting and the venue. So communication is still being made, and the idea and the message is implied. No words being used, but an idea and an implied message has been transmitted. So I got into this matter in a very detailed manner. So communication is getting back to the communication concept. Communication is the process of meaningful interaction among human beings. So communication, a process of meaningful. Sometimes it is not meaningful. You have to understand this. Here is some problem with this concept. I don't say communication is only uh, limited to meaningful interaction. Sometimes you guys have uh, like complete days sessions which go meaningless, and guys, most importantly, boys can understand that when they are having a casual sitting with their friends in some drawing rooms or at some thadas. So characteristics of communication is a two-way process. Not typically it is a two-way process, but in a standard manner we say this is a two-way process, like there is a sender and the receiver. If we But you have to understand that the sender and the receiver can be the same person also. A person is communicating his own, like he is rehearsing his presentation, or he is rehearsing his interview, he is rehearsing his speech in front of a mirror. So who is the sender and the receiver? The same person. uh, but still it is a two-way process. So we just need to understand the sender and the receiver can be the same person, but it is a two-way process where a sender and a receiver um, must be present. And communication and process happens between two or more parties, and I just explained it. Communication involves exchange of ideas, feelings, information, thoughts, and knowledge. Communication should involve mutual understanding between sender and receiver. I don't agree with this. Mutual understanding, I don't agree with this. Mutual understanding is not compulsory. Sometimes you guys have very awkward and odd sessions. You are having a communication, but the mutual understanding is not present. Even in a class, mutual understanding does not prevail among all the students at the same time. So mutual understanding, I don't agree with this concept. And then is objectives of business communication. These are not the only objectives. These are one of the some of the objectives which communication targets at. Conveying the right message. You want to convey the right message. Sometimes you also want to convey the wrong message. Coordination of effort. For example, you want to coordinate, you are communicating. Good industrial relationships. In order to build good industrial relationship with some parties, for example, you want to build your business, expand your business, and you are looking for new clients. So you are communicating with new firms and sending your proposals and all. So development of managerial skills. You want to develop managerial skills. So what you are doing is communication at different levels. And send messages, receive messages to promote something. For example, for the promotion of a product, you are having communication. You are making speeches, you are giving oral presentations to inform someone. And then it is, why do we communicate? So we communicate to inform someone, misinform someone, give wrong information, counsel, take suggestions, sell, buy, to confuse someone, to confirm something, to advise someone, to teach someone, to learn something, to reveal some phenomena, to persuade someone, to accept, to affirm, to clarify, to motivate, to criticize, to deny, to conceal. So, not only these are the only examples of the objectives or purposes of communication, but these are most of the areas why we communicate. So, channels of communication, sender, here is this is not channel, I would the complete channel of communication or the process, you can say. There is a sender. This is a brief version of the process of communication, I would say. So we will, as I said, get into this lecture in a very detailed manner, where we will also discuss the pre-hand of the communication, where you are generating your ideas or planning your ideas or planning your communication. For example, if you are going for some interview, communication is not limited to the session, or typically, even if I am like talking to you, I am the sender, you guys are the receiver, and idea is being, and a message is being conveyed, but it is also being received, coded and decoded at the very same manner. Like I am, as I am speaking, I am using English language as a medium, and you guys are like so I, whatever is in my mind, the idea I want to communicate this about this communication process, lecture and concepts, I am putting this idea in the language of English code. So as you receive it, you receive the idea, you decode it, and you just add it into your knowledge. So coding, and we could have the lecture in Urdu, we could have the lecture in Hindi. So a lecture can be delivered, the same lecture can be delivered in Arabic or in any other language, or it could be communicated to you in a written way. So guys, there are also some things which are not expressed over here, like coding, decoding, the surroundings of your communication. These are also some things that involve your communication process, but this is a brief version of a communication process, where there is a sender, there is a receiver, and there is the sender, and then there is the channel, that how your message is conveyed. The medium will be like what media do you use for the, and channel is like you are for example, one of the example can be like you are communicating it directly or indirectly, like I am communicating to you through this YouTube lecture. So my media is this technology, and my channel is this technology, like I'm approaching you through this YouTube, and this is oral message, and then you receive it, and when you receive it, you understand, or you just don't understand it, or you just get confused. And most of the time in my lecture you should get confused, okay, just kidding. So when you don't understand something, or you have got understanding of some concept, and you want to clarify something, you give your feedback, or sometimes you are giving your feedback in any form. For example, if you don't ask a question, still you are giving some feedback, but it can be one of those implied feedbacks, okay. Like I asked, I given an instruction in my lecture that if you don't understand anything, guys, you are welcome to ask any questions, but on specified times, or you can send your questions, I will be answering those questions at in my spare time, or at a specified time. So but you don't ask a question. So feedback is that you guys understand the concept. So feedback can be given in different ways. Sometimes if I am like delivering a lecture in your class, you see many of the students nodding their heads, and or sometimes like so this nod of the head is an affirmative response. So sometimes the students are smiling, so I understand the lecture is going in a good direction. And when more than three students are yawning, I can understand that I need to recourse myself. So I need you to recourse the slide. Okay. Channel of communication, here it is like an example is presented. Principal spelling is wrong. Principal gives some notice to the peon to communicate it to the students. So the principal is the sender, the peon is the channel, medium is the notice, and the student is the receiver. You guys, there are slight differences in this medium and channel thing. There is a detailed and separate lecture, as I am repeating, on this process. So we will be discussing the technical and clarifying the technical things over there in that specified lecture, designated lecture for this concept. So types of communication: intrapersonal, interpersonal, group, and mass communication. So intrapersonal communication, when you communicate to your own self, intrapersonal, like you, no other person is involved, you are having intuitions. So your mind is communicating with your mind, your intuition is communicating, or your inner soul is communicating. Like sometimes you guys say, my conscience is calling me. So what is your conscience calling you for? So the idea is being discussed, sent and received within the same person. So this is interpersonal communication. You are standing in front of the mirror, you are rehearsing something, you are just for example, sometimes you criticize yourself sitting in a room or in your solitude, and you criticize yourself and you highlight your problems, you revamp yourself, you get into the business back with some more energy sometimes, and you should do this after a while. So this is interpersonal communication. Whenever you are talking and having some session with your own self, that is a very beautiful thing to do. This is called interpersonal communication. I would also say, when a poet is writing some poetry, or any artist is expressing his art, he is talking to himself, he is expressing whatever idea, whatever beauty he has got in his mind. He is like, that is in the abstract form, in his this is a philosophical discussion right now, but sometimes we have the liberty to jump off the track and do these type of things. That is why we are called teachers. So the beauty you had, an artist has got in his mind, he presents it sometimes on a canvas, or in the form of a drama, in the form of some novel or poetry or something like that. So he is trying to transmit, he is trying to communicate his own ideas with himself and other parties also. When a poet is writing a poem at 2 a.m. in the morning in a lonely room, where he is just listening to some songs and he is writing a poem. So what he is doing, who is he communicating with? He is actually communicating with his own self. Later on, this communication in the form of book or through some channel or some media will be communicated to his audience also. Okay. So intrapersonal communication, then interpersonal communication, when communication occurs between more than one person or more than one party. This is interpersonal communication. As my friend was calling me, and during the recording of this lecture, I received his call, but I declined. So as I would have accepted the call, we would be having interpersonal communication. And still this lecture is interpersonal communication, as it's supposed to be communicated to you. And group communication occurs when you are discussing and you are having a communication and conversation in the form of a group. This is sort of some typical thing, and